Okay, we're live. Awesome. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Beyond Dressing Well Live. I am Mary Lou Andre, founder and president of Dressing Well, and also your host of our Dressing Well live show. We go live every Wednesday in the group, and our goal is to make everyday style easy, fun, affordable, and carefree. My goal is always to share 1, 2, maybe 3 or 4 tips that you can embrace after every program that you can implement in your own lifestyle. Tonight's program is even more special because we're going to be doing a mindset show, really to get you all focused on the methodology behind dressing well and leave you really inspired to get in that closet, shake it up for spring, embrace the energy of the season, and leave your house, no matter where you go on a day-to-day basis, feeling your personal best. There's lots of new folks joining us tonight, so welcome to all of you. Please let us know that you're here. Say hello, where you're calling in from. We always like to hear that. I have Leah over here with me on Zoom, and of course, Sarah Zengo, our senior stylist over in the Facebook group. So we're going to have a great time. A couple of things. We do have a cheat sheet for all of you. We also have some giveaways and some opportunities that I think you're all going to enjoy. I am going to teach tonight's topic in about 30 minutes. And then we also have some very special guests, some folks that we have worked with in the last couple of years. The feedback is you all love hearing the stories, the behind the scenes stories. So we have a few lovely folks who we have met over the last couple of years to come in and share some of their journey and some of the shifts that they've made in their own life and how they embrace dressing well in their own style on a day-to-day basis. And then at 7:40, 7:35, 7:40, we're going to turn the Facebook live stream off, and we're going to have a Q&A session over on Zoom with me and Sarah. So any of you that are over on Facebook, if you want to jump over on Zoom, Sarah will put the link in there. We'd love to have you. And again, we do have some really great prizes and some opportunities that we'll be sharing over in the Zoom at that time. So to kick off our program, we are going to cover 7 ways not to give up on your style. We love to do this program at the beginning of different seasons. The last time we did it in January, I believe, and we had kind of a New Year's resolution twist. And this month, in the month of April, and it is our spring gift to you, you can do all the shopping that you want. And if you don't have a really good methodology, a really good system, a really good framework to be able to manage your clothing and make sure what you have actually matches how you live, that's when you start to get, I have hundreds of pieces of clothes in my closet and I still can't get dressed, and you start to go down that rabbit hole. So our April gift to you is to really slow this process down, share with you these 7 principles that I actually use in my own life day in and day out. I use with my private coaching clients day in and day out, and they are also our gift to you. So the first one on our list, and again, Sarah has a great cheat sheet. Just relax into the program. Sarah will get that to you at the end. And if you're over here on Zoom, you'll be getting an email with the cheat sheet. But the first thing that you have to do is you have to believe that style can be taught. I'll say it again. You have to believe that style can be taught. I would not be doing the work that I have been doing for the last 30 years if I didn't believe that to be true. So if somebody, when you were 7, 8, or 9, or 10, or 11, or 12, told you you either had to be born with the fashion gene or you were a lost cause, I want you to commit right now to debunking that. We're going to debunk many style myths, and that's the number 1 on our list is you gotta believe. And I could tell you story after story about the wonderful women and men, we work with both men and women, who have come to us and said, I'm a lost cause, or I just don't get this. And when you slow it down and you treat the entire process like a professional contractor would, he or she starts with a solid foundation. And a lot of people that come into our programs that work with our process, they want that capsule wardrobe. So having a solid base, in our world, it usually is called a capsule, and a lot of you use that word, and we'll get into that a little bit in the program, is absolutely the way that you start to own your style. Number 2 is understanding that more is not always better. More is not always better. Some of the most well-dressed men and women that I work with have very few items. They know that when they have things that represent who they are on the inside and the outside, fit their figure today, give them joy, let them live their life in a way that they want to. You don't need a ton of stuff. So it's really about getting organized. I hope one of the tips that all of you take away from this program is to get in your closet and gut it like a fish. I always say to people, that if I told you before I arrived that I was going to get rid of half of your clothes, you wouldn't have let me in the house. But when the clothes are removed, I start to see the lightness, the shift, and that's the magic. Sarah Zengo is teaching an awesome masterclass on Saturday. It is one of our most popular masterclasses. We run about 5 masterclasses a year for our customers and people that are in our group programs. It's one of the ways that we add value. And at the end of the show, we're going to tell you, we have a couple of spots for people to join Sarah on Saturday. If you can't join, we'll get you the auto recording. But if you're even interested a little about how we teach and why these programs are really magical, we were thinking about what we could do tonight to make this a little bit of a special program. And we've never done this before, but if you want a chance to go inside and really see Sarah's magic in teaching our core principles, the class on Saturday is about getting your closet ready for spring. She's going to do some of that core philosophy that we have for really retiring winter, getting ready for the new season. And she's also going to do our trend report, which is every spring and every fall, we come up with our top 10, and she's going to do it in a beautiful way. So number 2 is so valuable to us that we actually do added master classes with our clients on it, because people can't get enough of how to make their closet, their space, more functioning. And I have been in closets that are huge. And I've worked with a lot of clients in New York City with little tiny makeshift closet. It really has nothing to do with the space. It's who you are, how you make that space work, and what you allow in your life, how it slows you down or how it propels you forward. So that's step number 2, is understand that more is not necessarily better. Step number 3 is know the power of planning. Know that pre-planning is key. So this time of year, when I am working with all of my clients right now on their spring wardrobe, and actually I already saw them in March. We don't wait till April. The pre-planning starts in March. The pre-planning was, let's get on Zoom. Let's look at your calendar. Let's see what you have going on. Do you have a wedding this summer? Are you going to that same conference that you go to every April, every May? Where are you spending your summer? Are you still going to be in New York or Boston or wherever? Or do you spend some of your time in the summer in a different place? So the power of planning, and again, the mindset, so that you are making the time to show up for your life in a way that you want, is key. And I can't tell you, with all the consulting I've done over the years, how many people, and I am so proud of the accomplished men and women that I have been privileged to work with, who wouldn't start a meeting without an agenda. And they go to the store with no plan, no sense of what they need. And again, step number 3 is the power of the plan. And if you asked me, what are some of the proudest things that we do here? You would think I would say, run to the store and find that little black dress that made this person's world rock. It really isn't. It's organization and planning are the things that turn us on, because we're visionaries. We know where we're going, and it's almost like casting. It's like, you got that wedding, what's already in your closet? You have a big trip coming up, girls' weekend. We all know we dress for the girls' weekends. We don't necessarily dress when we go out with the husbands, but maybe we're going to make that wedding, what's in your closet, work, because the wedding's not that big a deal to you, but you want to spend your money on that girls' trip. Or I just lost 10 or 12 pounds and I really want to celebrate my new shape by buying some new things. So the planning gives you control of the spend. All right. Number 4, embrace your shape. When we talk about people giving up on their style, I cannot tell you the amount of people that call this office and they'll say, oh, I'm going to call you back next year. I've got to take off that weight. And I'm always like, let's do a big time out. I do not care what your size is right now. If you do, I will work with you to turn that around. But I am interested in making you feel confident right now. So number 4 is embrace your shape. Embrace it. It has served, your body has carried you around for a long time. It has served you. It is your temple. Embrace it. And that doesn't mean that you have to stay the same size. Sometimes I got to be honest, we work with people and they're like, happy just the way I am. I'm glad I found a couple new brands that really made me feel my personal best. But embracing your shape today, learning some of the tips and tricks to really enhance your shape is the name of the game. I will share a couple of those fit tips in a moment, because I know a lot of you are interested in that. But again, if you are really believing that style can be caught, that you can be good at this, you are committed to downsizing and getting rid of the things that really make you feel awful in the morning. One of the first decisions you make is, what am I going to wear? And when you're looking at things that used to fit, they were part of a corporate job that you've been gone from for decades, or things that you got as a gift and you never liked, or it's a color that doesn't make you happy, it's time for a shift. Planning before you ever spend a dime on clothes, embracing style as a fun, cool tool. I don't know if you guys saw the pictures I posted in the Facebook group over the last couple of days of our amazing client, Lorianne, who went to Paris and said at this point, she joined our program maybe 2 years ago. She was one of our first people to join. I just love this woman. She told me on her call that one of her bucket list items was to go to Paris, live in Paris for a month. She is living in Paris this month. And she said when I met her, it was in the middle of the pandemic. She said she was really ready to get back to travel. And she said, I want to learn how to pack. I want to know how to do a capsule wardrobe that goes on the road with me. She worked with stylist Kathy Smith here. Kathy did a fabulous job with her. One thing she said to me recently in her email to me this week actually was, now the anticipation of the trip is just as much fun because she has a packing system. She knew she was going to Paris for a month. Can you believe that? She is living in Paris for a month. She said she follows the methodology that we teach in all of our doings, our personal consulting and our programs. And that is what I mean about the planning. The planning becomes joyful when you've done the work, you know what's in the closet, you know what fits, and you get rid of that little voice that says, I can't have style because I'm not at my perfect weight. Raise your hand if you're at your perfect weight. Anybody out there? I don't know too many people are. So that is tip number 4, to really own your style and not give up on it and just start to debunk a lot of this noise in our heads that gets in the way of being our personal best. The next one is commit to fit. So once you are more comfortable in your shape, and by the way, part of that process, that step, is to get rid of the things in the closet that no longer fit you, don't make you feel comfortable. I mean, I know I put something on, oh, when was it? Sunday. It was still chilly here on Easter. And I put something on and I was like, I just don't like the way that feels on my skin anymore. And I am somebody that really does practice what I preach. I have a lot of people that I give my castaways to. I folded it up and said, if I don't wear that on Easter Sunday, I'm probably never going to wear it. So I have places to donate. I give things to my sister. I give things to friends. Shake off this notion that if you paid money for it, you've got to hold on to it forever. That is such a New England thing. I hope people are putting in the chat where they're tuning in from today. I'd love to have the diversity of, we even have people from different countries, but I know that that's a real New England thing when you don't want to give up anything. But embracing your shape and then saying, commit to fit to me is finding new brands, new colors, new camouflage techniques so that you can, again, really feel awesome in your style. And when I say commit to fit, is look yourself in the mirror and say, pick out what you love, your beautiful eyes, your tiny waist, whatever it is. And then you start to pick shapes and colors and use style techniques to really show that off. I know years ago I was doing an event at a store, and this woman, and I feel every woman is gorgeous, but she was so down on herself, and she was definitely holding weight in her midsection, but she had very slim arms, very slim legs. And we got her in a shift dress, if you know that shape, to really camouflage that, showed off her arms, she was petite, she was about 5'2", hemmed the dress right above her knee to give her that silhouette. And you could just see the confidence and the energy and the joy just from those tweaks. If you're on the petite side and all your clothes just feel big, even just something as simple as a 3/4 length sleeve like what I have on, where you're showing some skin and you're bringing the eye up, is another one of the tips that we talk about when we're talking about commit to fit. So think about what your best assets are. Think about what you have in your closet that when you put it on, you feel great, because that's always an indicator. I'm always saying to somebody, show me what you feel great in. And if it's perfect, it's perfect. And we say, let's use this as our litmus test. Everything kind of has to match this. And if I think it needs a little bit of tweaking, I'll say, let's adjust the sleeve, or let's wear that with a jacket, or let's put a scarf on with that, maybe to hide a couple of extra pounds. And by the way, these are the 2 scarves that we're giving away tonight to 2 lucky winners, because I really feel that when you say things like, I'm just giving up, there's even something as simple as a scarf in a color that you love that you can wear 100 different ways, that can hide your neck, can hide your belly, give you color, lets you wear it as a shawl if you don't like your arms, and you have a sleeveless dress that you want to wear. There's so many ways not to give up. And again, it's slowing it down, it's getting in your closet, it's building in the planning time, getting your calendar out, seeing what you have coming up, having a conversation about finances. What am I willing to spend? What can I spend? And then you go from there. But committing to fit is, again, once you embrace your shape, committing to fit is figuring out a couple style techniques and brands that work for you. Number 6, and again, we have a cheat sheet. Just put cheat sheet in the chat if you're on Facebook, and Sarah will get that out to you. If you're over here on Zoom, you're going to automatically get it. But number 6 is think like an artist. And I love this one. So if you are somebody that, again, is giving up on your style and you're feeling overwhelmed, I hope you've already picked up a few tips that you can utilize immediately. But number 6 is one of my favorites. And I'm thinking of a client right now, so I'll share that story. I often meet somebody for the first time when they have a big event, either and I'm looking at Cheryl Otto on my screen, who referred one of my best clients to me several years ago. And that was the situation. She had a big event and nothing to wear. I think it was a headshot, if I remember correctly. So meeting the client who had a lot of great pieces, but no outfit. And literally needing this outfit tomorrow and without, and I'm a magician a lot, like Sarah can back me up. I'll get in my Batmobile and hit a store and drive back to your house if I have to. But something that I've used for so many years with this particular client and many, many, many others, I will just ask to see all of their black basics. I will put a black turtleneck if it's winter, a shell, a long sleeve, a short sleeve. I'll get the black skirts out. I'll get the black pants out. You can, if you think like a professional artist, an artist starts with a very basic canvas. And then no matter what they put on becomes the focal point and becomes the jazz. And no, it does not need to be black. I say black because most closets contain it. Black tends to be a minimizer. Bright tends to be a maximizer. Going back to some of my other core philosophy, a lot of people think, are struggling with weight. So black does tend to be a more slimming color. And also black is price neutral. I have in my career done many shows on television where I have to do the look for less. And if I have a white jacket from, I don't know, Target, and a white jacket from Saks Fifth Avenue, you can tell the Saks Fifth Avenue one. If I have a black jacket from, I don't know, pick your Kohl's, and a black jacket from Bloomingdale's, you often cannot tell which jacket is from which. So when I say number 6, if you're really about to give up on your style, you have a big event, put your best black pants on, see what you have for shells, long sleeve if you like to cover your arms, 3/4 sleeve if you want to cover your elbows. I told you I'd get some of the fit tips in. And then maybe you need to warm up that black. You guys that have been on this show, I know we have a lot of new people tonight, but you guys that have been on this show for a long time, you know how I do accessories. I literally get a tray and I dump all my gold. If it's Christmas time, I dump my red, my gold, my green. So maybe you dump all your gold that you like and you just start playing with it. And lo and behold, even that client I was referring to, that's how she went. I ended up getting her something. I think we ended up canceling the photo shoot and doing it right. But she had a meeting that next day and she's like, I felt like $1 million. And it was because of the fit, the fabric, the function, and the flair was last. I'll say that again. And that is part of our dressing well method. Our dressing well method is 5 steps. And the 4 good F words are the heart and soul. Step number 1, get clear on your lifestyle today and make sure everything in that closet matches that. Number 2 is get organized. I could do a whole seminar on organization. Sarah's masterclass on Saturday is going to cover a lot of that, but getting organized gives you clear inventory. It's like you wake up, the style gene wakes up and you're like, wow, I can get this done with less. And number 3 in that methodology is train your eye on the 4 good F words. Fit that client, everything she had on her body fit. When the clothing fits, you show up, not the clothes. You show up and you show up bigger, better, stronger, with more presence. The fabric, those fabrics fit her. They had some stretch, I'm sure. I don't know too many women today that aren't wearing something with a little bit of stretch. And the functionality, the outfit fit where she was going. She wasn't going to the gym. If she was, it would have been probably black leggings and a black top. And the last one's flair. And when you have some jewelry, a scarf, a belt, name your accessories. And in our Dressing Well methodology, we also approach accessories differently. We consider tops and shells. A lot of people that have gone through our program, that's been one of their biggest takeaways, is spending money on that capsule, which is the pants, the jackets, the dresses, the skirts. That's the capsule. And then you add the accessories, which can be the shells, the t-shirts, the blouses, because they make, if you wear jeans with a t-shirt and sneakers, it looks very different than the same jeans, silk blouse, high heels. Does that make sense? So you get your basics. A lot of people come to us for their refresh. Even Lorianne, if you saw her pictures in our Facebook group this week, the woman that's in Paris right now, Pinch, she really needed her basics refreshed. She needed new jeans. She needed, a really great little trench coat, which she took to Paris. Paris can be really cold this time of year. She needed, some modern sneakers were something that she needed. You don't need a lot. You just need the right base wardrobe so you can get out the door really fast. And part of the accessory lesson that we teach, whether we work with you privately in our programs, is using color and tops in the accessory conversation. Step number 4 in our methodology is then to make your list, really get clear on what you need. And step number 5 is shopping. But I digress, going back to our 7 ways and not to give up on your style. They're all connected. I hope you're seeing that. That think like an artist is one that saves people all the time. People that tell me they have nothing to wear. I even use it in my own wardrobe when I'm in a little bit of a rut. I'll say, I'm just going back to that guiding principle that always works. Even I was working with a woman down in Newport a couple of years ago in the summer, and again, saw her on a Friday. She was going to a really big personal dinner on Saturday, and she works a ton, and she did not have going out clothes. And we took her black sheath dress, and she had a beautiful figure. She was a runner. She took really good care of herself. And she's like, I feel like I'm going to work. And I'm like, you don't have any choices, sister. So we took the jacket, had the dress on, and she had some really great pumps. She had some great jewelry, did the shawl trick. And she said, I felt like $1 million at that dinner. And part of it was she felt like herself. It fit. It was something that she knew looked good. It was just switching it out. So think of your wardrobe as an artist, and you're the painter. Okay. And then number 7, before we wrap up this part of our program and hear from some of our amazing clients who have offered to come on and share a little bit about their own experience and what they're thinking about as we head into spring 2023. Number 7 is honor yourself always. So if you're somebody that is, again, saying, I just give up, I promise you that all of this can be taught. We have many different ways to work with us, by the way. We have a self-study video series that a lot of you know we put out into the universe in November. We worked really hard on that, and we're so proud of it. That goes through this methodology. Of course, you can join one of our programs. We'll share some information about that. But number 7 is honor yourself. Don't go into a store and let somebody turn you into something that you're not. Don't come work with us and let us do that. We won't do that. Trust me, we will not do that. We listen. We ask you the right questions so that the process stays true to you. But that is the 7 ways not to give up on your style. So I hope all of you picked up. A lot of you have been in our world for a long time. Thank you so much. But those of you that are new, I hope you heard something. Those of you that have been around, maybe you heard me repeat something that made sense to you. This getting dressed and presenting yourself to the world takes time and energy, and you're in control on how all of that is spent. Okay, so my biggest announcement, and I wanted to save it for the middle of the program so that I could really get you guys headed in the right direction in the first half hour, is we just retired 90 Days to Stellar Style. So those of you who have been around for a while, we launched that program in the middle of the pandemic. And if you ever told me I would be teaching our core methodology on Zoom in a group setting, I would have told you were crazy. It has been the single biggest gift of the pandemic to our firm. We have taught it now for 2.5 years. We've put hundreds of, over 100, I think 150 women have gone through that program in the 2.5 years. We keep it small on purpose so that you get time with your stylist. It's a 3-month commitment. That's not changing, but we're retiring the first iteration of that program, and we are launching the Dressing Well Method Mastery. We just put 8 amazing women, a few of them are on the call here with us tonight, through our test program. They just graduated a week ago, so they were with us January, February, and March. We had a blast. There was 8 of them, and they were the first group to have the videos support, the enhanced handouts. They had longer coaching sessions with Sarah, who just did a fantastic job in that program. They had a new Facebook experience. We closed that Facebook group to anybody that was not in the current cohort. And we really used pictures and the camera. Everybody, even the ones that said they couldn't take a selfie, were taking selfies. And I'm looking at Karen over there in the corner. Boy, did we have some fun, Karen. Karen was taking pictures as she went off to the ski slope. We had other people taking pictures as they went out for St. Patrick's Day. So that program is still 90 days. You're still paired with a stylist. It has been enhanced. It is wonderful. And the results that these women got was real. So if you are interested at all in how we can partner with you, again, our Dressing Well, the other reason we renamed the program is to bring it into our suite of products in more of an intentional branded way. So the Dressing Well method is now available as a self-study, and that's $2.99. That is a very affordable way to get going with your style. And then, of course, we have the group program, which is the next iteration of our very popular 90-day program, still 90 days, but with we've named it the Mastery because that comes with a big promise. And I was actually ready to cut that program in half to 6 weeks. And the women were like, no way. We love the camaraderie. We love 3 months, because in reality is you can't really make a change. Like 3 months is, you can change a habit in 3 months. And we're there to give you an enormous style transformation. So we already have a few people registered. I see Kathleen at the bottom of my screen. Hello, Kathleen. Welcome. She'll be joining that class in 2 weeks. We start on April 24th, and we actually are enrolling in the next 2 cohorts. So the August 24th, Sarah can share some of this information in the group with you, and Leah can share it over here on Zoom. But we're also, the second one, I think, is on June 10th, and that brings you through August. So 2 great opportunities. Of course, we'll have 2 more after that as well. We do 5 a year. But I just wanted to kind of formally announce that, like a good pair of shoes that served you well, 90 days is in retirement, and we have our more enhanced program. And the last part of our offer here is anyone on the call tonight will be entered to win the 2 beautiful scarves. And I do practice what I preach. These have been hanging around here. They've been part of our show and tell. Those of you that are new, this is a mindset class. We'll be back again next week with a big show and tell. We have our April blog ready to show you. But tonight is really about getting you guys centered, knowing that you can do this. You've got to slow down to go fast. Introducing our new program. And if anybody wants to book a call with me tomorrow or Friday, and the reason we're doing that is, part of our job is to serve as many people as we can. If you're even curious a little bit about how to partner with us in a program, one-on-one, or through a self-study tool, anyone that jumps on a call to learn, no obligation. We are not salesy. To get to know people and make sure it's a fit, it does require a phone call. We will be happy to give you a free seat in Sarah's masterclass on Saturday. And again, that is an exclusive benefit to our clients, but we thought, why not open it up to a couple people that are really interested in working with us so that they can see how we teach and coach and how the results get done. All right, so that's my pitch on that. And I think we're right up at a little bit over at 7:35, but we are going to close down the Facebook group at 7:40 after we hear from our special guest. Anybody on Facebook that wants to jump over and join us, we're going to do a Q&A till 8 o'clock. But I just wanted to first bring up Karen Blother. Karen, can you, or Leah, can you unmute Karen? So Karen just went through our 90-day program, and like many of you, I think Karen's been on our mailing list. Karen's been on the show. I had a chat with Karen a year ago, at least. She wasn't ready yet to join, but she just was curious, and we had a really strong connection. She bought the video series, and then she joined the program, and she was part of our Magical 8 who helped us transition so beautifully to our new offering. So Karen, welcome.
Thank you. So nice to see you again.
Oh, great. So just wanted to, can you share with everybody, like what drew you to the program?
Okay. I actually owned your first edition of your book from however many years ago it was, and had read that, and I enjoyed the video. But I joined because I needed something to give me guidance for having age-appropriate clothing that was still up to date, because I'm over 70, but I'm no longer a business owner, and I don't live in an urban environment. So I also needed help with what style would really match my lifestyle. And I was fearful of being judged. To hear, well, why are you doing that? You should know better than that. You've been around. And that did not come out to be a truth at all, because it's a very non-judgmental experience.
Oh, great. And so what was your, what has been the biggest change in your style and your mind since going through the program with Sarah and your 7 co-patriots?
Yeah, well, it helped me to get the appropriate style for me, because as I said, I don't live in an urban environment. So I wasn't sure that it would be appropriate for me dealing with people who are in and about Boston, but it certainly was. Sarah really started with where I was, and I was able to clean out my closet. I found treasures like this necklace that I had had for a long time that I didn't really know how to use well, and some storage ideas. I mean, I already knew my best colors, but I needed help with my silhouette. For example, I have a short neck, so I can't wear long earrings because they'll hit my shoulder. But I knew that I needed an open neckline, but Sarah helped me to understand how to bring the attention to the center, either by a scarf or a longer necklace, or just along a V-neck, just to bring the attention. So that really helped me a lot.
Awesome. And what was your biggest surprise with our methodology?
I would say it was probably that it really is simple once you understand the recipe, because I see it as a recipe. For example, the magic of connecting the dots by bringing in 3 points of focus, and how to integrate my favorite pieces. And I found it very cost effective also because of the principle of use what you have. And then especially 2 things, taking pictures of my outfits to store away so that I wouldn't forget, like I have these matching earrings that I might not naturally put with it if I was getting ready quickly. But if I look at the picture, it's like, oh yeah, I do that. And the big thing is having a focused shopping list. So when I go shopping, I find something, I go, oh, that's really pretty, but it's not really on my list. I don't need it. And I don't feel
Awesome.
badly.
The power of focus, Karen.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. And also, you do not look 70, sister. Oh my goodness. This woman skis. Tell everybody how many times you skied this week.
Today was 57.
You keep being you, Karen. You are an inspiration, really. I
Well,
love having you.
Thank you. And I also like the fact that the advice is given, but then it's my choice as to whether I do it.
Yeah.
So that's like, it's not judgmental. The Facebook page was so much fun because I had a new tribe, and we'd laugh at each other, and And also look, we learned, as Ted Lasso says, I need help. I learned how to ask for help.
I'm going to use that one, Karen. Well, Karen, thank you so much. A lot of Karen's colleagues in that program, they're not even, a lot of them, Claudia took the program because she was going on a milestone trip with her husband, so she's not around. Lisa's traveling, so it is just so fun to have you guys for those 3 months. You guys became fast friends. I think that's what moved me the most, was how the kindness, and it's a no judgment zone. I mean, it really is, and the kindness and the support. And you're absolutely right. We have our guiding philosophy. Sarah does a beautiful job of presenting the information, but at the end of the day, you have choices. And what I loved about your group is how much you grabbed hold of the process, did the work, and then celebrated each other. So thank you so much, Karen.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go over to Charlotte now. Hello, Charlotte. Charlotte and I have been connected for many years. And when Charlotte decided to join the program, I was just so thrilled, Charlotte. And Charlotte's story was, Charlotte took the program very effectively. I know you live in Arizona now. And Leah, if you can unmute Charlotte, that would be great. And I think you started the program when were you in North Carolina? Where were you? Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a dream for me, because when I worked with Mary Lou, the pre-COVID days, she was in Boston. I lived in South Carolina and Arizona, and it was all in person. And I never thought I got to do it. So when it became a virtual program, and I did get to be a part of your process and work with Sarah, I mean, it was really great. It was something I always wanted to do.
Great. So Charlotte, what was your mindset in the state of your closet when you picked up the phone and called me? Like, what prompted you to call?
Karen, I'm turning 70 this year, and I just didn't want my stuff I didn't want to look old. And so I was a little bit on the fence about it. And I asked my husband, well, do you think I should do this? And when he didn't answer, I knew the answer. Yes.
The pregnant pause.
The pregnant pause that said everything, like, get going.
Awesome. And then Charlotte continues to work with Sarah, which is great. We really do create, I love Karen's word, the tribe, and we have lots of programs people can continue with. But what would you say to somebody that was, considering joining and is afraid to get on a call with me? Like, just tell them what the call's like and why it's, even if you're not ready, a call can kind of waken you up to your next step.
I think it's all about where the person is. When I had that first call, you asked a few questions, and I filled out a questionnaire that actually made me start thinking about, what is it that I want to update? What is it that I really want to change? And Sarah helped me so much, especially with fit. Like, taking the selfies showed that my pants were way too big and wide and ill-fitting. Thank you, Sarah.
Oh, she does do a great job. Well, Charlotte, thank you so much. I'm going to be in Arizona at the end of the month, and we're going to have a lunch. And you were just a delight. And thank you for all the referrals you've sent to our company over the year. I mean, really, Charlotte, it means so much to me. When you called to join the program, I was over the moon, and I knew that we were emailing. I knew you'd be great tonight. So thank you for
always my dream, Mary Lou.
Oh, Charlotte, thank you so much. And before we open it for Q&A, we also have Cece in the house. Cece is another one of our graduates of our program. I've known Cece forever. And Cece, you're just such a joy and have been such a promoter, and you've referred so many people our way. How are you?
I am doing fabulously. Thank you so much. I have to tell everybody here, and you probably know this, that both Sarah and Mary Lou are so inspirational and great fun to work with, that and I'm 75. So I think it's so fabulous
in the program, but a lot of them are back to traveling, I think. But we love all of the people that we serve. That's so funny. I don't even think of age. I didn't even think of that when I asked you guys. That's so funny.
Well, one of the reasons I joined the program is that my partner, John, and I moved from a house of 3,600 square feet to a space that was 734 square feet in the Boston Metro West area of Boston. And I had so many clothes, number one, that couldn't fit into the space I was going to have. And so I said, I don't know what to do with all this stuff. So I knew I had to do something. And I kept going out and buying more things, individual things, because I needed to have clothes to wear to dinner. And that it's really like being on a ship. Let me tell you, it's like being on a ship. I leave and I go and I perform and I direct. But anyway, so I knew that I had to go through my wardrobe, and that is what got me into joining the program to begin with.
And what has been the biggest change, Cece, in your day-to-day style?
Well, I think one of the biggest changes probably has been not using black as much as I did. I used to always use a black pants, and then I would wear color. But now instead of black, I'll wear a blue, or I'll wear a beige, or I'll do a different color. I love what I wear, and I wear what I love. That is the biggest change for me. Think about it. When you go into someone's home and you visit them, they have a painting on a wall and it's beautiful. And you visit them next year or next week, there's still the same painting on the wall. I wear this top a lot because I love it. And people know it without even looking at my face. But I'm not going to change it. I mean, I don't wear it every day. But so fewer pieces make life so much easier.
Absolutely.
And I think that was one of the biggest changes. And now I'm going through all my spring things and whittling that down, and I'm recycling with other people those things that I just can't. One of the biggest changes is that you notice I'm wearing this neckline. Anything with a crew neck is out, because I learned that I really needed, and now I understand why I didn't like to wear crew neck.
Mhm.
And I didn't know why. And so it just makes it so much easier.
Yeah, so that program, and thank you so much, Cece. You always show up for us, and just so appreciate you coming on and sharing. I just saw somebody put in the chat how beautiful all three of you ladies are, and I couldn't agree more. But one thing, in that program, when we were designing it, the first thing is really helping people retire their clothes with thought and with intention, so that you thank them for their service, you move them in a way that is not throwing them in the trash, but you just make room for other things. And Cece, knowing you all these years, you really are an inspiration in terms of, you made up your mind, you dug in, and you lifted up everybody in that program. And I think, we could talk about the clothes all day long. I love clothes, but at the end of the day, what makes that program so special is how people feel from the other participants and how they got what they needed.
Yeah.
Whether it be understanding a neckline or understanding that they have more in their closet, like I think Karen would attest to.
Oh,
that she
I
could-
can't believe the number of outfits I have. I mean,
Right,
really,
that you actually
it's
have outfits.
fabulous.
Yeah.
But I want to just end by saying one thing. I do a lot of photography at the high school for drama and music productions as a volunteer. And what I love, what never happened before, is these kids are all going, Cece, your outfit rocks. Cece, I love those shoes. I'm a grandmother of one of the kids, and I'm getting kids making these comments. You just feel like, do this, folks, just do it, because you'll save money in the end. Trust me, you'll save money in the end. Okay, you can mute me now.
Awesome. So great. Well, that wraps up the second part of our program. Thank you so much to Karen, Cece, Charlotte. I know Cheryl couldn't be here. Lisa couldn't be here. I was getting some calls like this afternoon, but you guys, I just think that people love to hear the personal stories, the feedback we get. We run the personal stories about 5 times a year when we're getting ready to launch a new program. So thank you guys for sharing. And I think we're going to say goodnight over to the Facebook group. We We will be back on Facebook next week again. Our April blog is Where Now and Where Later. It's actually up on the website if you want to take a sneak peek. And we're going to do a whole program, a lot of show and tell. Those of you that are joining us for the first time on Facebook, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please like us on Instagram too. We do just as much on Insta as we do on Facebook. We're Dressing Well Boston on Instagram. But I hope you like this program. And I hope you learned, again, the promise I made at the beginning was to open your mind, learn 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, maybe 5 fresh new ideas that you can leave the program with. And the good news is a lot of what I shared doesn't cost you a nickel. It's really about changing the way you think about style. Okay, so good night to our Facebook folks.